Hi and welcome to this video about improving fitness and health, and we're going to be looking at some key terms today. So the first key term that you need to know is specifically what health means. And so health is the physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of ill health. And so you'd be expected to be able to regurgitate that on an exam paper. If we relate that to something like fitness and how that might differ somewhat, fitness is defined as the ability to cope with the demands made during an individual's day-to-day life. And so therefore one person's fitness can be different to another's. So in order to be fit for instance office work, there would be a different fitness demands that would obviously be present for a labourer or an elite athlete. And this idea as well that you can be reasonably fit but you could also be unhealthy. So if you think about this, someone could be physically fit, so they could have reasonable levels of cardiovascular fitness. They'd be able to cope with any of the exertions they have during the day, but they might not be healthy by virtue of the fact they may be ill. They may have other issues, social or psychological issues that may be pressing at that point. And so the idea that you can be healthy, you can be fit but not healthy, and also vice versa. And so obviously health and fitness are related, and there are some physiological factors that can affect people's health. And so some of these things are cardiorespiratory endurance, strength, speed, muscular endurance, flexibility and power. I'm going to go through now and define a few of those. So we've also got skill related fitness. So this isn't health related, this is specific to performing certain skills. And so the types of things that we're looking at here would be agility, balance, coordination and reaction time. And so your cardiovascular respiratory fitness and aerobic capacity is essentially how well your cardiovascular system works in order for you to carry out certain aerobic events. And so the idea of stamina comes in here. And so stamina is defined as the ability to sustain stressful physical exertion over a period of time. Effectively, it means that you can keep going a certain level of intensity of exercise over a long period. And so if somebody's got a lot of stamina, they can keep going for long periods of time. The types of things that your aerobic capacity, so your aerobic capacity is effectively how well your aerobic system can work. And so it can be affected by things like how well your lungs work, so effectively how good the muscles are controlling that are, so how well do your intercostals work, your diaphragm, the efficiency of the blood taken into the oxygen lungs, so how many capillaries do you have surrounding the lungs, how many capillaries do you have surrounding the muscle tissue, the efficiency of the cardiovascular system in transporting the oxygen to the cells throughout the body. So obviously if you have more red blood cells, you're going to be better at carrying more oxygen, and therefore your aerobic capacity is going to be higher. The efficiencies in the cells in taking up and using oxygen, so obviously with training your cells develop, become better at doing this, and effectively how to remove carbon dioxide as well, and that's related again back to the efficiency of the your blood system, so the number of red blood cells, and also the efficiency of the lungs there as well. And so your aerobic capacity is linked to the efficiency of the lungs and in the cardiovascular system. So cardiovascular refers to things like the heart, and vascular implies the blood vessels. And so we've looked at these previously, so things like arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules and veins. Your cardiorespiratory system, this refers to things like the heart and also the lungs and those associated blood vessels. Effectively, if you have a reasonable cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory system, it means you're going to be much more effective at getting oxygen to cells and also getting rid of carbon dioxide. And so one aspect of health-related fitness is strength, and strength can be split into three parts. So it can be explosive, static or dynamic. With explosive strength, this is a rapid contraction of the muscle units to achieve the natural generation of force. So you can think of this like somebody throwing a punch or throwing a javelin, or effectively in any kind of throwing event where it's an isolated, it's a one-off contraction and they're putting their maximum into it. That's what's referred to as explosive strength. Dynamic, this is a repeated contraction and relaxation of a single muscle or muscle group over a period of time. So things like bicep curls, because that's a repetitive action. You're doing the same thing over and over again. That can be referred to as dynamic. And so whenever we use the word dynamic, we're really talking about movement. And finally, static strength. So this is holding a particular line or a limb, part of the body, in a static or an immobile position. So things like balancing. You think about, for instance, doing the plank, for instance. That is an example of static strength. If you join me on the next video, we'll be defining some of the other key terms.